Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all are doing very well today. We are going to be discussing the alerts that have been coming out regarding Sebastian Rogers, possibly looking for him in Mexico due to an influx of tips directing investigators that way, as well as Summer Wells, who at night considers could possibly also have been teed along with Sebastian, not at the same time, obviously, but both of them. So I'm wondering, I've heard many of you from the beginning say, could these be connected? Could they be related in some way? If we find Sebastian, could we find Summer? If we find Summer, could we find Sebastian? I don't know the answer to that, but it's sounding like both of them may be out in a have been receiving the same fate. I'm sorry, it's hard to put it into words right now. I apologize. Hello, everyone come on in. We do have At Night and Dog and One World who have taken Summer and Sebastian both under their wings with billboards, blip boards, and rewards, and asking for federal intervention. We need to keep pushing for that federal intervention. That is very important. At Night has asked the public to keeping on with that, and they are all over Mexico right now with their alerts from what we can tell, and they did mention in something that I received that they do believe possibly Summer could have been teed also. So if we find one, would it lead to the other? I don't know. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Thank you, Robin. Robin said, I think by sharing to Sebastian's groups, it's bringing more people in. Thank you so much. The more eyes on the case, both cases, the merrier, right? The more that will look, the merrier. We just need to be alert. I wanted to share with you a map today of the border of Mexico and America, where Cancun is that they are looking, Playa del Carmen. Interestingly enough, they're tourist areas, right? So I'm thinking, a lot of teeing, and they had mentioned labor trafficking. Oops, labor tea. So I'm wondering, because a lot of teeing, if it's labor, is in the some of it is in the hospitality business. So, we don't know, could that be that they have kids teed to Mexico to work in the hospitality? To me, I would think that would make them so visible, right? So I don't know. Or are they just in hotels there? I'm not sure, but they're looking for them, and we are going to get to the alerts. At Night did put out a fabulous alert on how to identify and what to look for in tea victims. We're going to read that as well. We're going to look at the map of the border. And really, they could be anywhere: Canada, United States, Mexico, the world. We don't know. We don't know. Hi, Detroit Rock City. Beautiful day in San Francisco, Roxanne. Very nice. Hey, Doodle Mom. Hey, Sue Jones. So I hope that it will. And you know what else? Even if we're looking for both, which is what we can do, we hope that we could find them both. But could it mean that they both are out in having suffered the same fate? I don't know. I can't answer that. But in light of the fact that they're looking for both right now from that situation, it could be. It could be. Has there been any proof of death for Sebastian? No. Has there been any for Summer? No. So I guess we cannot rule it out, We just can't rule it out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to welcome in, everyone. Thank you for being here. If you would hit the thumbs up on your way in, I would truly appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and let me just go to here. Okay. we're going to go ahead and go to at night and some of their bolos that are coming out so we can understand and I can explain, answer questions if you have them. I may not have the answers, but I will do my best. We have the National Human Trafficking Hotline down below, 1-800-373-7888. If you see anything, hello, Town Chat. Hello, Gypsy Girl. Hello, Janet Ashley. Hello, Nanny of 8. Chris Miller. Marie McCall. Julie Bellinger. Welcome to the family. I'm not sure how to say it. Proteome. Welcome to the family. We have our reunions on Saturdays. We have a very good time. If you're not a member, join us. We have a good time. Oftentimes things come out. We go down a path. Or we start talking and getting to know each other better. It's a really good time. Number 19. Please hit the thumbs up, please. Doesn't take much. Hit that thumbs up. Not many of you have. Please hit that thumbs up. Okay, this is from yesterday, July 6, 2025, at night, Creative Intelligence. One World will be activating its Rapid Reach Response System today, July 6, 2025, notifying, all United States ports of entry, as well as nearby motels, hotels, restaurant stops, and relevant locations in Mexico about Sebastian Rogers. Bolo U.S. borders. In response to ongoing intelligence, this rapid reach response is issued to all relevant entities, the Mexico-U.S. border, particularly at ports of entry in Texas, California, and Arizona, and New Mexico. We're going to look at the map. Last seen February 25th, 2024 in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Reward is $500,000. Call, text, or email dog at most wanted at Manhunts 1 or 844-922-3236. Information sought by Dog the Bounty Hunter. Sebastian is 16, a bright, high-functioning autistic teen, and he was last seen February 25th, 2024. Missing teenager. Abroad, call 1-800. Abroad, 1-800, call FBI. 1-800, the lost. Take in the QR code. Okay. High levels of trafficking in Mexico. Let's go to the map real quick. Sorry, I didn't mean to just pause there for a second. I was thinking through what they were saying. Let me share this tab with you instead. Okay. This is the border of Mexico from the U.S. As you can see here, let me go up because they said Arizona, Texas, and I believe California, New Mexico. Here's the Arizona area. Okay. California area, New Mexico area, Texas area. Okay. Over here is Cancun and Playa del Carmen. They're touristy areas. Cancun, right here, is the area that the ransom person, when he was demanding ransom, he said when he received the first portion of the ransom, he would take Sebastian to a hotel in Cancun. So they are still searching that lead down, by the way, just so you are aware. Thank you, Town Chat Cafe, for gifting one Crime Time Buzz membership. Welcome to the family. Welcome to our reunions. We're going to have a really good time this Saturday. I'm not going to tell you what I have planned, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't miss the members live this Saturday. So let's go ahead and look at the border. Okay. So this is the area. If you are anywhere in this area or in Mexico, please keep your eyes and ears open. It sounds like not just for Sebastian, but for many children who may be being moved around in there. This is the area right here, one of the areas. This is one of the areas that is mentioned that we're going to read about, Cancun, Playa del Carmen. And this is the area, the ransom person, the man who claimed to be the driver who drove Sebastian away, was going to take him to a hotel in Cancun. Okay. A lot of things lately taking, a lot of intelligence taking them to that area or to Mexico. So let's just hope something comes of something. We can locate Sebastian. We can do whatever we can to help. But the one thing that At Night, Dog, One World, all of them really need is eyes in Mexico and the borders. Okay. And it's a tough topic, right? It's a tough topic, but it's one we have to cover. Let me come back to you. And I have hope that something is going to come forth. And I want to say something. I'm going to go back to At Night for a second. And then I want to say something. When we talk about teeing, there are so many vacation areas. There are so many variations of what we could be speaking about, right? Hi, little orange man. There are just so many variations of hi, Renee, of what we could be talking about. The number of people, how far it extends. It could be one people, it could be many people, it could be domestic tea, it could be international tea, it could be labor tea, organ tea, child tea, ST. So it's such a complicated, dark world. Hi, Frank. Oh, Frank says, hi, Jay. He can't come in yet. Well, little orange man, thank you for telling me. Tell Frank hi. Hey, hey. Hey, Charlene. Good to see you all. And I think that we don't have proof of D for other children, Sebastian or Summer. So I think it makes sense. Well, obviously we would react to anything that would come forward, and they are, because you never know which one is the one, right? But I think it's important to remember we live in a world of teeing. Look at how many children are rescued when the marshals go out there on their operations. Once it was 200, once it was 60. I mean, there's many, many, many children found. And they are victims of what usually? Right? So it's a huge issue. We're going to get to it because they have a wonderful alert that tells us what to look for. So am I saying they're together? No. Am I saying if they locate Sebastian, Summer's going to be right next to him? No. But am I saying there could be a connection? Yes. The reason I say that is this. There's a lot of, they're both from Tennessee. They both vanished under very suspicious circumstances, right? Both have not been seen. So if there was a level of organized crime, they may be able to deter being seen. But then again, we have what we believe to be the audio and video from the backyard. So there's just so many questions, right? There's just so many questions. Hi, JH. Good to see you. So many questions, but we're going to keep reading. We're going to inform ourselves of what to look for. I'm hoping of all hope that someone is going to come forward and know something soon, or something that has already been brought forward. like the ransom or something, anything will end up leading to an actual piece of truth, right? Let's go ahead and read this because I do want to share where they had talked about. Let's see if this is the one. No, I did send our flyer to someone who has family, a reporter in Mexico, and I sent the Spanish version. So we are hoping that, let me see if it's this one. We're hoping that she will get that out. I so appreciated, right? So appreciated that if she could get that out for us and see where that hits in Mexico, and we can maybe get it reported in other areas of Mexico. So here is the most recent alert 17 hours ago. Global tip line active. Missing American teenager Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers at night continues accepting calls and tips from any country, especially from those in Mexico, Central America, and U.S. port zones. By the way, hey Minnie, hey Castle, hey Mimi Jean, as they transition to teeing, that opens the door to, many other individuals allegedly as well. Okay. So it could be when I think of teeing, I honestly don't think of family, but it's often family, but I don't think of family when I think of teeing, and I think many of us don't. So we need to really educate ourselves because it could be a stranger, it could be family, it can be domestic within the region of the US, it can be international, and they move them in many ways. And excuse my throat, I have a little bit of a sore throat today. And they move them in various ways, boats, buses, planes, you name it. So, and they do use, as we're learning right here, tourist entry points. So we've got Cancun, Playa del Carmen, the trafficking driver mentioned Cancun. So it is sad what one would do to a child. And it's sad how many go missing. We can't find them. And I think that Sebastian has a really good chance compared to if indeed Sebastian was teed. Let's focus right now on the topic of teeing, okay? Because intelligence is pointing to teeing, and intelligence is pointing to believing it may not be family. It may be family, it may be an acquaintance, it may be someone who is not immediate family, and it could be something even more nefarious. So what we need to do, excuse my throat today, you all. So what we want to do is we want to focus on Sebastian right now. If indeed there's, how we say usually in a little bit of lies, or with lies, there's a little bit of truth. Well, that's where, the ransom demand is being looked at right now, right? Along with the location. And I'm sure they're still looking for the liar because he will go to jail if that, they can find him, which, believe me, I have faith in them. And, but I just really think that we need to be vigilant, and we need to remember, and we need to pay attention because it could be anyone now. I'm not saying anything of my former opinions are gone, but I'm saying in light of them saying that, then intelligence is suggesting that it is T, but it may not include family. Okay. And it's teeing, and we're looking at another country. It could be, and like they said, it could be not immediate family. It could be anyone in the area. It could be someone on the computer. We don't know. Domestic, we don't know. But we need to just right now, we need to keep our eyes for Sebastian. And what I'm asking all of you to do is, I'm afraid we lost, in my alleged opinion, and this is all for entertainment purposes only. We are using what's out there in the media to form opinions, speculate, and help see if we can research or come across, investigate, or however we want to say it, something that may assist to locating Summer and Sebastian. Right? Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Tour buses, that's a great theory, Angela. Great theory. I feel they need to check all tour buses, going to hotels and motels, close observations. They could be transporting the children that way. Yes. So we don't know how this has gone down, if this is the circumstance, but things are pointing to this right now. Could it be people trying to distract? Absolutely. Could it be truth involved in some of the things that didn't pan out yet with the ransom? Absolutely, there could be truth there. I'm not going to be the one who looks away from anything. But what I wanted to ask you all is, just in light of what has happened in the last couple of weeks with Sumner County silence through all of this, what I am asking you is, if you did submit stuff in the first 6 months, go back and revisit your stuff and see what's relevant. That's what I've been doing. I've been going back to the first 6 months in case something got lost, something got overlooked, something, whatever, prior to Dog and At Night coming in, to see what I might notice. I'm asking you to do the same thing. Yes. And now I'm going to bring that up. Great Whispering Winds. Yes. U-Hauls, RVs, anything is possible. It became kind of a trend where they were packing people into U-Hauls, so it looked like families were moving, right? And if you recall, there was a U-Haul that arrived in Summer's hometown with a bunch of people coming from New York, allegedly there to buy a home, and out one stayed. Candace and Summer and the two boys, because Don and the other boy were out working somewhere out of town for quite a while. And Jose stayed. He didn't want to jump back in the U-Haul when they got there and found out the sale didn't go through of the house they wanted. Everyone left Jose there and introduced them allegedly to Candace and Summer, and he went home and he lived with them. Hi, Audrey's Journey. Good to see you too. Mimi Ma. Hi. So exactly, we just don't know. So we forgot so much that was said in the beginning. I agree with that. So many little things and important things. Thank you, Mimi Ma, for saying that, in my opinion. I appreciate that because it's true. I've been going back through things and I'm like, oh my gosh, now it makes that. Sometimes some things make sense and then you're like, oh no, that doesn't make sense now. So please, I implore you, if you're willing, to go back through your stuff from the first 6 months, emails you may have sent, tips you may have sent in, things like that. Let us keep going. So they have a global tip line now. Excuse me. At Night continues accepting calls and tips from any country, especially from those in Mexico, Central America, and U.S. port zones. Remain extremely vigilant at airports, bus terminals, border crossings, ferries, and tourist entry points. I am going to let you know that I received a comment yesterday from someone, and yes, I've sent it in. I've called it to 1-800-THE-LOST. I've sent it in to Dog and At Night, and this individual said that she had turned it into the tip lines, but she was going to mention it again now that things, I think that's what's happening right now is, okay, now I better resubmit this kind of stuff. But she said, I'm going to say it again. And I've sent it in the tip lines. I believe I saw Sebastian Rogers traveling with a woman They arrived in Spokane, Washington around 11 a.m., and this was a flight in October. So I responded, what did the woman look like? What did the woman look like? What were they on your flight? Where were you coming from? What date was this? I haven't heard back yet, but I did research the flights going into Spokane, Washington that land at around 11 a.m. and they are all coming from Seattle, Washington for Alaska. So, true story. So I've asked the person to please get back to me. We just got a new alert. I'm not sure. But I just wanted you to know that. Okay. So that was alarming. And I have asked, and I was just checking to see if she has indeed gotten back while I was here. By the way, join me this evening, 6:30 Eastern time for the Decker manhunt. He has been spotted in Idaho, possibly spotted in Idaho. I'm checking to see if that person's gotten back to me. Hold on. I don't see anything. I'm just checking. Sorry, y'all. Just want to make sure. No. Okay. No response. Okay. So even when you're checking, a lot of you do a great job when you're in the comments of a video or of a replay crew. You look and you see things that don't make sense. You screenshot them and email them to me. That's fabulous. Also during the chat, when you're doing that, I love it. You're not bothering me in any way. You really aren't. So let's get back. I hope we find both kids. Now I know, I'll be honest with you, Chris McDonough, and I do respect Chris McDonough. He is a seasoned investigator, right? He's a seasoned investigator. He unfortunately thinks Summer's no longer with us. But we don't have any proof yet, right? This is a live multi-country effort supported by One World and At Night. So we're searching for a young man who was reported as a runaway. His name is Sebastian Rogers, if you're new to the case. He was reported on February 26th to be a runaway of 2024. And there has been no scent, no cameras leading to Sebastian. Nothing. It appears that he's vanished, but we know kids haven't vanished. But now we have a multi-country effort supported by One World and At Night. And it is happening right now, my friends. Lives depend on awareness. Okay. And we've got this flyer. I'm waiting to hear when that gets posted into Mexico. We have a friend in our community whose family member is a reporter in Mexico, is going to report on, or she's going to ask them to report on Sebastian. So we're waiting to hear that as well. I'm trying to find okay. Excuse me. In recent weeks, At Night and its allies received an increased volume of tips and unverified information suggesting that Sebastian could be in Mexico, including regions associated with high levels of HT. It is important to emphasize that there have been no confirmed sightings or independently verified reports of Sebastian's location at this time. Okay. Also, I do want to let you know that if you weren't in our live when I did Summer's live the other day, I showed everyone where TBI had Summer's name back linked to TRA, the big T. Okay, TBI did. And then I cross-referenced it with another Amber Alert child from Tennessee. And when I Google searched their name in the TBI, it came up with a link on African American violence, and that was relative to that child. So I do believe their theory was T. Another thing that recently has been alleged, and if you follow the Summer Wells case, you know there's a lot of people in the case, a lot of neighbors, a lot of friends, a lot of people talk, a lot of people started channels, just everything. And I told you we're going to keep deep diving, and please look for us to continue on Summer's story as well. That's coming up. But what I wanted to say is, excuse me, y'all, I'm going to mute for a second and get a drink of water. Okay, I'm back. One of Candace Bly Wells' friends, which is Summer's mother, has in recent weeks has come out and said that her daughter, if you know the case, Summer Wells is from Rogersville, Tennessee, which is about 4 hours east of Sebastian Rogers, who's from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Summer went missing, was reported missing June 15th, 2021. Some similar circumstances to Sebastian. Okay. And what I want to stick to right now is that when that was going on, when Summer was reported missing, I'm going to cough, excuse me. Many came out, and of recent weeks, a friend of Candace came out and said that her daughter was the one who was spending the night with Summer. Remember, if you follow the case, the photo where Summer looks very thin, not well, pale, skinny, standing with her head shaved, standing with a girl next to her. That is her daughter, Marlena's daughter, who was spending the night with Summer and was brought home early. And this was right before Summer went missing, the days before. Now it has come out that Marlena has said that her daughter told her when she came home that Summer was going on a trip with her daddy. Can I verify? We cannot. I'll be honest with you, 100. No verification of anything the neighbors or anyone related to Summer says, in my opinion. Okay, I don't know what else to say, but I'm gonna tell you what they said. She said her daughter said that Summer was going on a trip with her daddy. They were packing her suitcase. Summer packed her favorite pink Paw Patrol dress, right? And that she was going away with her daddy. And then shortly after, a couple of days, Summer was what? Reported missing. Now, also, there is a creator out there who follows Summer Wells' case. He didn't give his sources, which we usually don't, but he has been hearing allegedly that Don Wells, Summer's dad, had been taking Summer to nasty hotels in Knoxville. Do I know that's true? No. Did he link a source? No. But he lives out there, and he is involved. He does cover the case quite a bit. So what would be occurring in motels in Knoxville? So there are signs in her world of teeing as well. Okay, because we've never had proof of death of Summer, I've often thought Summer, and because of what I saw on TBI in the beginning, that link to her and a study on child teeing, I've often thought that was the theory. Am I 100? No. But could somehow one little tip find her and Sebastian? It could be. And I only say that I don't know how they all work, but we're gonna learn some things and we're gonna keep going because there's always hope. We need to bring these kids home. We do have someone who drives a truck in our community here who I'm going to find out about getting Sebastian's picture up. He's offered to do it if we can get it made for him. And I'm going to see if he'd be willing to do Summer and Sebastian and we can get that done. So I'm on my note to check with At Night with that and One World to see if they could help with that. He travels New Jersey, New York, and I believe he said maybe Pennsylvania. I don't recall. So let's keep going. I'm sorry I'm not going in. Hey, Beth. Hey, Angela. Hey, Ashley. I'm sorry, Ashley. Did you have a question? What is your question, Ashley? Oh, thank you. Sorry, hon. I didn't see you. This guy that said that he drove Sebastian, where did he come from? Who did he talk to? This man who claims to have been the driver that Sebastian was teed to Mexico and he was the driver that drove him away, reached out to a individual who posts on Facebook flyers of Sebastian quite often. Because that individual's Facebook page is private, other than what she posts about Sebastian, they linked her to her daughter, most likely, who likes the pages or the flyers that she puts out, and asked her daughter to get in touch with her. We have no idea, other than the fact that she posts flyers about Sebastian, that is why he chose to give her the information. At that point, he said to Mindy's daughter, Mia, who both were in our chat, and one was on the panel and one was in the chat that night that I covered it. He said, please get a hold of her for me, meaning Mindy. I know where Sebastian is. Mia, Mindy's daughter, said, what do you mean? Call 911, take a picture of him. And he said, he's not near me. I was the driver who drove him away. He sent the link. Mindy linked to him and reported him with all URLs and links. She then contacted me to make sure it got immediately to Seth Rogers. I sent it to Tony to get to Seth, and then I did my due diligence and made sure I sent it to the agencies. And then at night in One World, they sent it to all the agencies and more. So that is, we don't know where he comes from. They are investigating him. They hopped on a plane searching for the man who claims to be this man, and they've hopped on planes looking for Sebastian. So he said he was going to call with Sebastian's voice before At Night sent the first 30,000 of the ransom. Okay. He never called. He asked for a secret question that only Sebastian would know the answer to, that was sent to him. So when he called, that could be answered, but that is where the breakdown ended. Okay. And they are searching for him. So, and please remember, when we're in the show, I'm not always looking right at the chat. I will go at the end. So please remember that, I'll do my best, but what I'm doing right now is covering it, and I'll come in and, into the chat and answer questions in a little bit. So maybe a chartered plane in Alaska, that sighting in October could have also been true. Another thing I want to ask is, if you think you see Sebastian, please call 911 from the location instantly. You're all amazing. You're all wonderful. You call those tip lines, you get home, you call tip lines, you start driving, you call tip lines, amazing. But if you could call 911 from the location and it really is Sebastian, that's our best chance of getting him. Right there. Call 911. Don't think about the tip line at that point. Don't think about calling Seth at that point. Call 911. Then dispatch to get a hold of everyone else, please. While you are at the location where you think you see him, please, please call 911 and then try and take a photo of him. But if you call 911, you will dispatch to that location. They can block exits. They can do all of the above. They can immediately check the camera footage. So thank you. So hopefully there would be a way to track and trace if he arrived in Spokane in October with a woman at 11 a.m. Please hit the thumbs up if you would. That guy said that he drove Sebastian. Where did he come from? Who did he talk to? And again, I've answered that to the best of our ability. I'm trying my best, but we don't have every detail. He claimed he was far from him, but would get him and put him in a hotel in Cancun and pay for a week. Okay. And remember we do, well, I'm not going to say it. Okay. First of all, hi, hindsight. There hasn't been an arrest probably because the lead agency hasn't even spoken recently on this. They haven't gone into action. They're the ones who would arrest right now. So we haven't heard a statement from them regarding this, unless one went out recently in the last 24 hours. Hi, Minnie. Hi, Prayer Warrior. Hello, YouTuber. Hi, Jen in Georgia. Hi, Hindsight. So I don't know, Angela. We don't have the law enforcement is going to have to arrest. So we have what has been asked in one of the recent updates is for all of us to really focus on Sebastian getting federal intervention and being vigilant on those borders in any motels and hotels around the United States, Canada, Mexico, any way stations, ferries, buses, planes. Okay. And that's Hi Show Poodles. Good to see you. So we're just going over some of the updates. I showed the map of Mexico where we could be looking, where Playa del Carmen is, where Cancun is, and the entire Mexican border to the United States. We are now on some updates. Excuse me. Sorry, I have a little sore throat, so I have been muting a little bit to cough. Excuse the interruptions. In recent weeks, At Night and its allies have received an increased volume of tips and unverified info suggesting that Sebastian could be in Mexico, including regions associated with high levels of T. It is important to emphasize that there have been no confirmed sightings or independently verified reports of Sebastian's location at this time. As a precaution and in interest of transparency and public safety, At Night has notified the United States Department of State and relevant U.S. embassies and consulates of the ongoing influx of international tips. The organization continues to work independently to support the search for Sebastian and urges the public to remain vigilant while avoiding speculation. And like I said, we have someone who has a family member in our community in Mexico that is a reporter. So we are going I sent that out in the Spanish version, and we are hoping that person will agree to get that out and let us know what areas that is going out in. Okay. Feels like a lot of movement. And here was, oops, sorry, I didn't see that. At Night, this was 22 minutes ago. Let me check that again. Yeah, 22 minutes ago. At Night refuses to engage in the unfolding drama. I haven't even looked. What drama's going on, y'all? The current situation is simply a repeat of last year's events, and we've moved past it. Only official At Night channels represent our organization. No other parties speak for us. With our global teams dedicating over 18 hours a day to their work, drama is the least of our concerns. We are not here to make friends or chase followers. YouTube can keep its audience. Our sole focus is Sebastian. So apparently there's drama unfolding. I be honest, I've been researching too, so I haven't been checking drama. Okay, $500,000 reward. I'm looking for the one that they put out that helps what to look for. 15 hours ago, they announced that there was an automated mass call launched in Mexico for missing teen Sebastian Rogers. So I'm not sure what drama is going on, you all. She did get her, yes, Town Chat, I answered her question. Thank you for asking and checking. Please give it the thumbs up. So I haven't been watching the drama, I'll be honest, because I've been receiving things that you all have noticed and went back to, right? And thank you so much. I'm so sorry I didn't see that. Whispering Winds, thank you. I will address that in just a second. Thank you so much. So I don't know what drama's been going on because I too have been researching and going back that first 6 months, like I said, and looking at things. So I'm not sure what drama's going on. They're probably dissing on At Night and their efforts and Dog and most all of them. But guess what? You can criticize them, but they didn't ignore a ransom demand. Okay? That is just, there's still nothing. Let's go. I'm going to check the page real quick. Let me go see if there has been anything from Sheriff Craddock regarding Sebastian Rogers. And then I'll go check the page. Let's see if he has said anything. No. Sorry, y'all. No. I don't see anything here. No. Still nothing. So what I can say is no matter how you feel about, anyone feels about At Night, One World, or Dog the Bounty Hunter, they are here for Sebastian. I don't know how to say that about the lead agency who doesn't answer, respond, go into action during a ransom demand. You don't get to choose whether or not you think something is real. They're supposed to be chasing them all down. So anyone who's criticizing At Night and all them, that's silly, right? That's silly because they're not the ones sitting silently when a child from their own area, all these many leads are coming in, whether they're true or not. If it were your child, would you want Sumner County going to budget meetings and ignoring? I don't think so. So I find it funny that people are actually having a problem with this rather than anyone who would be chasing leads thanking them, because believe me, we need it done. Thank you so much, Whispering Winds. And thank Whispering Winds if you received one of the memberships. Join us Saturday. We have our members' lives on Saturday. There are a lot of information, getting to know each other. Don't miss our members' lives, Saturdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. And please thank Whispering Winds and welcome to our family. And thank Town Chat as well for gifting a membership to our reunions, Crime Time Buzz on Saturdays around 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So yes, we did have someone. We did. Hello, BMW Coupe. Welcome in. Good to see you. Good work, by the way, you're all doing. Good to see you. Hey, Hindsight. Hey, Bliss. Let's keep, excuse me. Let's keep reading. We've just launched an automated mass call campaign across Mexico to find Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, a missing American teen. Sebastian, now 16, was 15 when he disappeared on February 25th, 2024 from Hendersonville, Tennessee. The notifications are being transmitted after a huge surge of tips, though no sightings are confirmed. If you spot him, call 911. First thing, if you see Sebastian, 911, please then call the tip lines. But from the location, call immediately, because that way they can dispatch there. They can block entries and exits and check the cameras. please do that first. Then call 1-800-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-THE-LOST immediately. Share your tips anonymously at Most Wanted at manhunts.one or text and call 844-922-3236 from anywhere in the world. Okay. Anywhere in the world. I'm really looking for the one where they're talking about, okay, here we go. What to look for. Oh, Hilton hotels. Okay, we're going to keep going because the Hilton hotels and the Marriotts are posting Sebastian Rogers notices at their resorts and hotels throughout Cancun and Playa del Carmen. Okay. And I know many say, well, would they have him in a fancy hotel, hotel like that? We've talked about that, but visibility is everything, right? We urge all tourists to remain vigilant this summer due to a heightened risk. Let me cover that. I'm sorry. Undo that. Due to a heightened risk, that's scary, of human trafficking in the region. Please be alert for any children or teenagers who appear out of place or in distress while abroad. Did you know sometimes that when trafficking escalates like this and you see like rewards raise for children, that's why? Did you know that? In certain circumstances with certain missing children, like sometimes you'll see the rewards raise and stuff. And if you can look at the motion of trafficking and all that movement of children, it sometimes it cooperates. They go together. So interesting. I had never realized that. And also when the children's rates go up, like if they're watching children who are being teed and they can identify them, and then children's rates go up in the teeing world and there's a reward out for that child, sometimes you'll see their reward raise as well. Bolo, Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Now, the one we received was Cancun, not Playa del Carmen. So this must have been a different tip that came in. Okay. We urge all tourists to remain vigilant this summer due to a heightened risk of human trafficking in the region. Please be alert for any children or teenagers who appear out of place or in distress while abroad. This is the one I want to share with you, is what to look for. If you're from Arizona and you're in Rocky Point, even, that's what they call Arizona's beach. We go there. It's 2.5, 3 hours away. Please be alert. All those children who come up to the windows, wash our windows, right? As we're coming through, be alert. Look at the kids. Look at the kids, because this is a true fact. When I come from Arizona to Rocky Point, Mexico, no one asks us for our passports going in. They only ask us coming out of Mexico into the U.S. So think about that. You could smuggle a child through like that. It makes no sense, but they do not ask for them. Isn't that wild? They just don't ask for them on your way in. So people could bring kids through there. So, right? Said, who was it? You mean law enforcement did? Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Someone posted a video. Was it law enforcement or a YouTuber? Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. One law 214, the cheap hotels at Myrtle Beach during school breaks. There is a non-coincidental number of young nephews spending vacation with an uncle, just the two of them. Right now? Did you report it, my friend? I agree, Caitlin. They should be checking passports going in and out of all areas. Yes. We always thought it was just not good news that they don't check our passports going in, because I'm always like, what if we had kids we didn't know, or people, or whatever, What if we were kidnappers? So, one law, do you mean as we speak? And did you report that? When did you see it with your own eyes, and did you report it? I'm looking at the comments. Sorry. Let's keep going. I'm waiting for one law I wanted to see. Not family, just friends of the family. We don't know. But someone was just saying, and I was just waiting to hear. Caitlin says, I mean, for Timothy Pitson, I wonder if the hotel his mom stayed in, wonder if they allowed his photo. I don't know. Okay, well, we're going to keep going. One law, if you're talking about right now, please report it. And let us know what hotel so we can report it ourselves. Thank you. There has to have been a sighting of Sebastian in Mexico, in my honest opinion. Why else would that be brought up months later? Okay. Because we just had a ransom demand that said they were taking him, that he was teed into Mexico. Okay. So that is why it's into Mexico. They have just said that there is no verified sighting. Now, okay, but the ransom demand said he was in Mexico. What's going on with Shirley? I have no idea. Shirley, what's wrong? I usually talk to you quite a bit. What's happening? So I'm just going to keep going. Okay, so let's remember here's how it could look like. Spotting a child or teen who may be in danger, especially in cases of human trafficking, abduction, or exploitation, requires a combination of situational awareness, behavioral observation, and intuition. Here's a clear guide for how to recognize red flags in public spaces, particularly while traveling or visiting tourist areas. How to spot a child or teen in distress or at risk. Behavioral red flags are avoiding eye contact or appearing fearful, withdrawn, or nervous. Appears anxious when spoken to or when an adult is nearby. Seems coached. May hesitate or look to an adult before answering a question or questions. Exhibit signs of trauma, exhaustion, or overcompliance. Obeys without question. Situational clues. A child or teen is in the company of an unrelated adult who exerts control over them. The adult does all the talking, especially about identity, location, or plans. Also, like if the child doesn't know where they're heading, where they came from, what hotel they're in. The child or teen seems unfamiliar with their surroundings or unable to explain where they are. There we go. They're in inappropriate environments for their age, nightclubs, bars, hotel lobbies late at night. Come back over here and see. Oh, gotcha. Okay. You imagine it's never stopped. All ports and military coasts have ongoing tea. So, but when you saw it at the hotel, when you saw it at the hotel, it was reported. Oh, you retired from the justice system in 2002 and did several contract jobs until I could no longer fit the narrative. Okay, thank you. I was wondering how you knew this. Thank you, One Law, for the clarification. Appreciate you. No, please don't. Please do not ask your questions in all caps. Let's pause for a second, okay? Please do not ask your questions in all caps, okay? We have super chats, we have super stickers if you need to get my attention, but right now I'm going through something very important and I will come back to your questions. I do not know if KP has Sebastian's birth certificate and/or passport. Sorry, Lisa, I don't know that one. But please, let's not start putting all caps in. Okay? No, I do my best to come in and chat with the chat. You know, I'm pretty good at that. So I'm just trying to make sure Shirley was okay because I didn't see her message other than being upset. What was Shirley's question real quick? Oh, I didn't even see Shirley in here before. Hi, Zipper. Hi, Jules, to Callie. Huh, I didn't even see Shirley in here before. So please, if anyone knew what her question was before that statement, I don't see it, okay? They could have used the father as a threat to possibly, yeah. They do captors. If someone has him captive, they could say, family doesn't care, family's not looking. That's why that bulletin board, Sebastian, your father's looking for you, is really important. So he knows that. Thank you, Michelle. That's good too. I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Someone had a statement I wanted to address. No, Minnie, that's okay. You had permission for the all caps. I just didn't want everyone. Oh, here's the question. Okay. That's not a question, but I'll read it. A human T-ring is not going to go back to a home they took a child from. Okay. Thank you. Did you think someone had gone back to a home? Was there in one of the cases, was Shirley, I'm not sure where you're getting at, but Shirley, in one of the cases, was there some sort of a ring that went back to a home where they took a child from? I'm sorry, I'm not sure, but I want to answer it, but I'm unclear. Okay, let's keep going. Physical appearance: appears malnourished, unkempt, or wearing ill-fitting or inappropriate clothing for the season or location. May have visible bruises, injuries, or signs of restraint. Oh my gosh, how awful. Looks disoriented, tired, or as if they haven't had proper care. Wow. Communication cues: doesn't speak the local language, but is not with family or translators. Tries to ask for help in subtle ways, slips a note, whispers, makes eye contact, looks away quickly. May deny being in danger even if clearly distressed, coercion, or fear of consequences. Let's talk real quick about the birth certificates. A birth certificate can be, you can purchase a birth certificate, and I do want you all to be aware of that, and you can purchase a fake passport. You can purchase a fake driver's license. You can purchase a fake pretty much anything you want to. You can purchase fake adoption papers. You can purchase all of the above. Yes, Caitlin, they wanted the reward money, the $500K, but originally asking for $30K after Sebastian's voice was heard. Once his voice was heard and $30K was distributed, he would be able to take him to a hotel in Cancun for a week, and they would get the rest of the ransom. He said they knew about the reward. So they knew about the reward. Okay. So an insurance audit's a great idea, but if they're hiding a child, they wouldn't use his real name in his insurance. And they would be under a fake name, fake identification. Also, if he's in a school, he would be under a fake name, fake identification, most likely. Hi, Lola. We are just talking about there's high alert all over Mexico for Sebastian. At Night has mentioned they do believe possibly the same thing has happened to Summer Wells. So we are just talking about how to identify a T victim. It's from At Night's post. We looked at the map of the border. It's all on high alert right now. We have Hilton hotels and the Marriotts all over Mexico posting Sebastian's photo. I have submitted Sebastian's flyer in Spanish to someone in our community who has a relative that is a reporter in Mexico. I'm waiting back to hear if they would be willing to report on it. If so, what area will it hit? Police have looked into this. That would be wonderful. We don't know because they have not, during any of this, responded, interacted, other than tip received. Thank you. Okay. And so we don't know. Craddock hasn't spoken. I was waiting for Craddock to come out and say something about all this, where they were, why they didn't respond. TBA, I didn't respond. We haven't heard from Bobby Simmons. Brandon Carter just gave one sentence that said, what did they say? Received, something like that. FBI will investigate. No one, they weren't responding. So whether law enforcement has looked into this, I would say highly doubtful, since there hasn't been a response, but that's just my opinion. But they are now asking for the FBI to lead this investigation, because I don't know. I know many of you are talking to law enforcement in your hometown now, and you told them what happened, that there was a ransom demand, and law enforcement still has not answered, gotten into action, or done anything. And you said they were appalled, shocked, surprised, all the things, corruption, get them out, shameful to the badge, all of the above you've shared, right? Oh, thank you, Doodle Mom. Consider your tip acknowledged. Thank you for helping out with that. Yeah. So, I don't know why that anyone above Craddock right now would not be coming out from Tennessee speaking on this, but it has gone to Kash Patel, the Trumps, White House, congressional oversights. It is going all over the American embassies, the consulates. So it's everywhere now. National Center for Missing Exploited Children is now on the new billboard with Dog the Bounty Hunter, letting Sebastian know that his father is looking for him, which is so important. And I don't know, I need to find that out. I have sent that question in. Where is that bulletin board, Blipboard, knowing it's in more places than one, but I will find that out again. I'll follow up with that. So hope you all are doing well. If I've missed a question, I'm trying to come back through. There could be faked ID. You know what? Interesting one, Law. Yes, anything he needs, it's faked, in my opinion. But you know what else, One Law? And Lola, I hope that caught you up. I hope that was enough of a kind of a rundown. So they are on alert all over. Hilton's, Marriott's are putting up the pictures all over Mexico, Cancun and Playa del Carmen, high tourist areas. And I don't know if that's because they do think possibly the kids may have been teed into labor trafficking, and there's a big hospitality in there, but wouldn't that make them more visible for high profile children? I don't know. I really don't know. And Shirley, how is your licensing going? How's your testing going? I hope it is going well. Joanne Marie says, learn the international distress signal. Share it. Thank you for 3 months of support, Joanne. And remember during Gabby's, domestic violence distress single, right? I mean, when you talk about it in code, the SOS is, what is it? 3 dots, 3 lines, 3 dots, I think. But let's keep reading. And get this alert going. Some more. Okay. If they don't know where which hotel they're staying at, they don't have a passport, they don't have ID or luggage of their own, or they're not registered as a guest. Those are all signs they can't freely leave the location, or they are being very closely watched. What do you do if you suspect something? You do not intervene directly, because this can put the child and yourself at risk. Alert hotel staff or security discreetly. Call local authorities or report to the nearest embassy consulate. In Mexico, you can also contact Alerta Amber Mexico or the Policia Turistica. In the U.S., contact the National Human Trafficking Hotline, which I also have scrolling across the bottom of our screen today, or text HELP to 233-733, or call 1-800-CALL-FBI and 1-800-THE-LOST. Okay, lots have been tagged for these. Let's go back to our slideshow now, because there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Why both Summer and Sebastian? Why do you think they're both coming up, right? Let's talk about that for a second. I think both Sebastian and Summer are coming up because there is no proof of death in either children. Summer grew up in a world of SSAing, T'ing. Sebastian's situation is odd, with people hovering around a vehicle, lights in the backyard. Neither child was there footage of them leaving. Was there footage of someone taking them? Sebastian, there were flashlights in his backyard and a sedan that pulled up. Caitlin, you are so welcome. I'm trying my best to, I know nothing right now other than what you all know. Okay. I know nothing other than what you all know right now. And, that's the truth. When I knew the ransom thing, I came forth with it as soon as I was allowed to, but I'm giving you everything I know right now. Blonde children. Yes, Caitlin, blonde children they have a higher rate, don't they? Isn't that sad? They're both blonde. They're both from Tennessee. I hate to say this, but Tennessee does have a reputation for, if children go missing, they're not going to really be found. So isn't that a trafficker's dream, right? Isn't that a trafficker's dream? So also, no scent, no evidence left behind. Summer being involved in a world recently, a creator who's local out that area, localish, who's been talking to people. He didn't reveal his sources, nor should he. Said that they are saying that Don used to take Summer to local nasty Knoxville motels. There also used to be rumors, the shed at the bottom of the hill, rentals being rented. So those are rumors, right? Sebastian, with everything that's been going on, the ransom demand, people hovering around vehicles, just the flashlights in the backyard, and there's no proof of D at all. No proof of D at all. So for either kids, I just think that it can make sense. And you know what? I'm not going to be that person who's going to ignore, right? I don't know. She was not diagnosed as autistic at all. No. Many who were following the case thought maybe when she went to school, they may identify some sort of a possible um, deficit, but had not been diagnosed yet of anything. Yes, in the summer's milk pick, her nail beds did look blue. Michelle, I agree with you. I agree with you. So Summer and Sebastian, and that's why, and I worry about the kids in Tennessee in general now. Well, you know what? I hate to say this. Sumner County. Because any tears, I hate to say this out loud, but any tears watching, if he indeed was teed and they see that there was a demand, or even if he wasn't, and they see there was a demand that came into that county and no one knows where law enforcement is, they're silent, they're not, that would be a tease dream, right? So I do worry that there's going to be an uptick in teeing in Sumner County because any perverts or tears watching who are hearing that they're not even responding regarding a teeing ransom, they probably figure they got a pretty good chance to get in and out of there, and no one's going to track them, follow them, right? I hate to say that. Right? Right? There are many copycat cases. Yes. Many copycat cases. Could they both have been teed? Yes. Could they both be no longer with us? Yes. There's nothing to prove that to me. But in my opinion, the recent neighbor who said that the recent friend who said Summer's suitcase was packed to go on a trip with her daddy, and her daughter said Summer even packed her favorite pink Paw Patrol dress, right? That's interesting. And then to hear another creator say recently, people there have told him that Don was taking Summer to hotels in Knoxville, or motels. You know, motels are a huge teeing area. So again, here's the border. This was just me getting this for you. I do want to show you right here is where right here is that area. Let me enlarge it right here for you. Oh, darn it. Okay, right here, Cancun and Playa del Carmen, this touristy area right here. There's Cozumel. I love Cozumel. So this area is the one that is really on high alert, but all over. And I wanted to share with you methods of transportation. And I know we talked about U-Hauls and things. Am I missing any questions? Let me see. Yes, if we could light it up green, that would be great. Gypsy says, I want to adopt the oldest son. I want him to have a place to always call home. Gypsy, are you serious? That's so sweet. Well, you know, he is up for adoption. And on my next summer's live, I promised you all I would highlight Rose, Grandis, and Josie. So, yes, he is up for adoption, Gypsy. That's very sweet. Yeah, he's older. So, yeah, that's harder when they're older, right? You are fine, Town Chat. You multitask away. Oh, Gypsy, you're working on your husband. You melt my heart. You're serious. Amazing. I just got chills. Absolutely amazing. I do know that Donna and Candace are fighting to get him back also. Minnie said, TBI, after the federal intervention, the request for FBI to lead, TBI contacted Don and Candace Wells and asked them if that they were going to search the road below their home on Ben Hill Road. Okay. Now, that was 2 days after the request for FBI after TBI ignored the ransom demand. We have a different TBI deputy on the two cases. Summer Wells, their TBI agents reacted and are doing a search. Sebastian Rogers, the Bobby Simmons and group, they have not responded that we've heard of. And I will go back to the TBI. I haven't checked TBI today. Okay, they informed the family they will be searching the area road below Ben Hill. To me, it seems like announcing they want someone to go to the area and move her, possibly want to catch them. Oh, could be. That's great. I hope so. I hope so. It could be if we find one in a location, we could find another. If we find one in Mexico, we could find another. Are they connected? They could be. Are they absolutely connected? No. Is it possible? Absolutely. They are Tennessee kids. They are both missing, both vanished, both strange circumstances, both no CCTV, both no sightings, both no scent leading to somewhere. Both blonde-haired children from Tennessee, small towns in Tennessee, maybe already been researched as far as their missing children's cases. If you go to Sumner County, you will see that their open cases were missing persons cases, some from decades ago, one who was found and unalived, but that still wasn't solved. So their open cases are missing persons in Sumner County, where Sebastian is. Any person researches that. Also, Sumner County or Kingsport, Rogersville area. Anyone starts researching that. There's Layla Santinello, Summer Wells. There is Holland Snap. Then they look at the sheriff's office and their movement or lack of any information on the cases lately or in a long time, right? So that's how, they move in. They're not going to believe me, less and less will go, in my opinion. A tier who was looking for kids would be more likely to go to Hendersonville at this point after what they're witnessing with this case and seeing, oh man, yeah, no problem, than Grady Judd's territory or Sheriff Morrison from Washington's territory. Or, think about it. They look at things like that. What areas can they grab a kid? What areas is it working? Well, in my opinion, Sumner County and Hawkins County have proved they are areas where you can grab a kid, get in, get out, and not be tracked or found. And then they will taper off and let it go cold. That is a trafficker's dream come true, in my opinion. Thank you so much, Joanne Marie. Fingers tight together, thumb, middle of palm, closed fingers. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I didn't go over. I mentioned Gabby and didn't go over it. The international distress signal. They were talking during Gabby Petito. Everyone needs to know this. Okay. Fingers tight together. You put your thumb across your palm. You close your hand. Okay. Your thumb is over. Oh, I said thumb in your middle of palm. Close your fingers down. Over the thumb, yes. Like a fist, but you don't show, the thumb isn't the one over the fingers. The fingers are over the thumb. Thank you, Joanne Marie. Appreciate the super sticker as well. Thank you, my dear. Now we are going to learn how they travel, because a lot of you are traveling this summer. As you are traveling this summer, if you could please print out flyers for Sebastian in Spanish or English, wherever you're going, or both, in summer, and put them up around rest stops, motels, hotels, airports, it would be greatly appreciated. You can just send me a pic and email and let us know what area they're up in. Yes. That would be amazing, Gypsy. Shirley, I'm not sure. Are you okay today? I'm not sure. Are you okay today, Shirley? Um, I'm not going to address it. So we'll just keep going. I hope everything's okay with you today. Your comments are a little off today, not your normal comments. So, methods of transportation and movement. Let me know if you need anything, Shirley. Email me, please. Methods of transportation and movement. Common transportation tiers use everyday forms of transportation. By the way, they'll even use Lyfts and Ubers. They use cars, planes, trains, and boats to move victims. Do you recall when At Night put out a post long ago asking or saying, were they asking or saying that the Wells and the Proudfoots or something were somehow related? I remember that. I want to go back and revisit that post. What if that is accurate? Or what if they meant related just because it looks so similar? But I think we should go back and find that post and look into that. What if there was a relation? So, transportation, cars, planes, trains, and boats to move victims. Driving, victims might be driven long distances in vehicles. Flights, perpetrators may utilize air travel. Perpetrators, there, we'll just end that. Perpetrators may utilize air travel for international transport. Ride-sharing apps, tiers have been known to use ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft to transport victims. We've heard U-Haul a lot during the summer travel a couple of years ago and during the Big C, right? Movement for isolation. Victims are often moved to isolate them from their families and familiar surroundings, making them more dependent on the tier. Movement from place to place. For example, STing victims might be moved between different hotels or locations, while labor teeing victims could be isolated on rural properties with limited outside contact. Interesting. Very interesting. Please stay on alert in Mexico. Please, if you see a child, I want to double click on here for us. It is Homeland Security. I wanted to show you something. If you see a child in distress, kind of pay attention. Let's try and start noticing. There's a certification you get for human trafficking. If you're interested, I will post it on my post. I'll have to go back and look for it, but I will. It's an online, it educates you and you get a certificate in human trafficking. So you've always wanted summer, Robin. I know. So many people have always wanted summer. Okay, this is from the Department of Homeland Security. And it says trafficking is a crime of compelling a person to provide labor or services or to engage in commercial acts. Okay. The one thing I was going to show you. No, it's not this one. It's this one. This is something I wanted you to see when they answer the question about T'ers, the people who do it. And it's an interesting answer. There is no single profile of a human tier. Their only commonality is that they are driven by profit at the expense of others. So that is their only profile commonality, is that of tiers, that they are driven by profit at the expense of others. Tears are men and women. They are of all ages. They can be relatives of the person they're teeing. They could be romantic partners or close family friends. Or they can be the people behind an employment ad or a new friend on social media or online gaming. Now, this is from the Department of Homeland Security. There is Human tears can be part of a transnational criminal organization, so meaning all over the nation, or a local criminal network. Remember, in Summer's case, they referred to the cornbread mafia. That would be like a local criminal network or a gang, it's saying. Okay. However, they can also be the owners of restaurants in the community, a local business offering janitorial services, a farm labor contractor supplying harvesters, or the couple next door with a live-in domestic worker or nanny. On a larger scale, tears can be a factory owner producing garments or electronics, or the captain of a commercial fishing vessel out at sea for months. They can be child SO traveling abroad or a pimp. Wow. The term teeing usually means clandestinely moving goods across a border. For instance, under federal law, tangible items such as weapons, wildlife, and rugs are teed into a country. However, human smuggling is the term used when people are being secretly, clandestinely moved across a border and is a criminal violation. The criminal statutes prohibit human teeing, forced labor, sex teeing of children, or by force, fraud, or coercion, do not require a boarding crossing. In fact, many human tears and victims are U.S. citizens. So they're saying they don't have to move them across borders. They could just stay right in the U.S. ICE, this is the last one I want to read. It says ICE Homeland Security Investigations conducts criminal age trafficking investigations worldwide. Within the U.S., HSI teeing investigations have uncovered human tears operating in bars, illicit massage parlors, hotels, truck stops. Oh, yeah, truck stops are another big one. Apartment complexes, street corners, or escort services. S-tiers increasingly use social media, that's scary, and other online platforms to recruit, advertise, and exploit victims. Wow. It's a scary world, right? It's a scary world. So, one law, let's see here. They can be the backside of a child artist support, like recording artists and promoters. If a child is a star, there's not a cost. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Thank you for sharing that one, Law. We have another update from at night before we get off of here. I'm going to check and see if it is from regarding Sebastian or Summer or Mexico. Thank you, One Law, for sharing that. Okay, let's see what the most recent, there's an X update. So let's get to it real quick before we get out of there. Did we cover that? Maybe it just came to me later. Let me just see. I'll just go out and in. Oh, bless her heart. This little angel was found deceased from the Texas floods. We have received confirmation that our precious angel has been found. Oh, heartbreaking. So many lives lost. Let's continue to remember, please, the victims of the Texas floods, please. Okay, let's get to at night. Sorry, got distracted here checking. Okay, at night, real quick. Let's get in there. Let's see if there was anything while we came on here. This is they want us to stay vigilant on getting intervention. So if you can write letters to keep trying to get the FBI and marshals to take the lead, maybe Sumner County to get involved. Okay, we read all these. We read all these. I just want to make sure you are all up to date. Okay, we did. We got them all. Good for us. So what we're going to do is we will put up the new. There you go. I want to thank you all for being here. I really, really do. I know that this topic is unnerving. We don't know if both kids have been teen, but they are operating they are operating as if both have been. There's been no proof of D. Remember Summer Wells when she first went missing? I have the video that I did where when you Googled her or searched her name on TBI, she was linked to a child teeing study. Okay, and without proof of D for either of them, I really think that it's better to be looking than to just saying he's D somewhere. So especially with the tips coming in, could the tips be a distraction? Yes. Could there be a little bit of truth in some of the tips? Yes. So am I grateful they are following all tips? Yes, I am. And I want to thank you all for being here. Please stay vigilant as you take your summer trips. Please, I ask you to stay vigilant, to keep your eyes and ears open, not just for Summer and Sebastian, but for any kids who may seem in distress. Thank you, Barb. I appreciate you all. I'm going to be back on. Let me see what time it is. I've got the thumbnail up already for you all. I am going to be back on in about 2.5 hours for, is that right? Let me double check. Let me double check real quick. Yes. Okay. Yes, I will be back on in 2.5 hours regarding the Travis Decker manhunt. Thank you, Gypsy. Thank you, all of my mods, all of my members, all of my visitors, first timers. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Chat, you did a great job. I want to tell you, mods, I know a lot of people had a lot of emotions in here today. Hi, Bonnie Brown. You've heard Atlanta's a hub. Yes, so is Phoenix. So is Phoenix. So don't forget. Oh, goodness, scary. I believe 8 years ago I seen trafficking, Tina says. 8-year-old blonde hair, white, with woman with headdress overhead, and male driver looked Arab. Yeah, could have been, right? I tell you what, if any of you are interested, I will find for you that online certification in teeing, and it will help you. I think it's online, and it will help you learn some of it and have a little certification and expertise on the subject, right? Can't ever hurt, right, Tina? If we knew what we knew that we know now, right? Thank you all for being here. Keeping on. Keep your eyes open. Mini Panthers, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to go take a peek, dig in. Okay, I am going to take a peek and dig into the Travis manhunt before I meet you all there at 3:30 to get the most up to date and listen to our friend Sheriff Morrison. You are interested in that if you find it. Yes. Okay, Gypsy. I will post it on my community post is when I locate it. I will make a note to myself right now. Okay. Making a note right now, and I will put that in our community post. I want to say it's through the state of Georgia, but I will go looking. Yeah, Jen, he's so hard on the eyes. Hi, Betty. So all of you, I will see you all later. You're interested too, Karen? Okay, I'll put it on my community post. I think I'm going to take it too. Just, we never can be educated too much, right? Thank you all for being here. See you in a couple hours regarding the manhunt for Travis Decker, who unalived his 3 daughters, Peyton, Olivia, and Evelyn, in the state of Washington. Possible sighting in Idaho, taking the manhunt, stretching the manhunt to Idaho. So everyone, thank you so much. Thumbs up on your way out if you would. Sub up if you haven't, and hit those notification bells. Keep keeping on, and until 3:30 my time, 6:30 Eastern time, talk soon. Thank you, everyone.